Hi there everyone, I would like to share my spiritual practice experience about Falun Gong or Falun Dafa. That was in about 1997 to about 1999 when I was about in primary school or maybe early junior school. So what happened was that as far as I can remember, I started to have faith about creationism at that time. I remember I went to see a video with a lot of other people, and that video was about Mr. Lee, who gave a speech about something related to creationism, and he tried to explain why why humans created by God. Some kind of teleological argument that we have got we have got computers and cars and that kind of thing. So to me it reminds me a pastor called Stephen Tong. In a way it's similar to the idea of general revelation according to Reformed theology. Anyway, and regarding the ethical practices, it contains the three main ideas: the truthfulness, compassion, or mercy, and then the third one is tolerance or endurance. Depends on how you translate it precisely, but briefly, those are the main ethical practices of Falun Gong, and they are very similar. Those virtues and ethical practices more or less very similar to Christianity. For example, you don't lie at all. That's quite similar to the biblical teaching. And to have compassion and mercy, that's also very similar. And then tolerance or endurance, so it's very similar to Jesus' teaching about turn to other cheek. But in reality is that you see lots of those practitioners protest a lot in China and in places outside China, and they're kind of inconsistent with the practices, because if you turn to other cheek, and what's more compared to Christianity is that because the Falun Gong practitioner tend to believe in karma and reincarnation, whereas generally speaking Christians don't. So that is a very big ethical, I should say, maybe paradox or contradiction. If karma and reincarnations are true, then in order for them to be tortured so badly and get executed and so on, they need to have previously very bad karma, and well, then that would be a problem. And there is an idea about burning off bad karma. Well then, I mean, if karma and reincarnation is true, then what happened is that it just justified the karma and reincarnation, right? But as Christians, we should view those injustice in a proper way, even though we may not believe in karma and reincarnation. But you see, the irony is that those practitioners protest a lot, and if you think about the fact that Christians were also badly persecuted or even tortured in the past too, but do you see Christians protest so much in China and places outside China? So that's kind of it's funny. I mean, it's interesting to look at the phenomena and analyze those facts. And what happened is that the combination of the doctrines of Falun Gong and those protests now actually make me less interested in go back and practice Falun Gong, because it to me it doesn't make sense.